Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I just did a previous video on my progress for the GKS graduate application for masters. And I am back with another one with just like doing the checklist, I guess, and then going through the whole application. I don't know if it'll be interesting, but yeah, let's just see what happens. I've got the application here. I've already filled mine. That's why I'm using a blank document. So I can just like go through it quickly and just answer questions that I've had. First, leave this blank as it says even this part because it's not for us to fill out. Here, like I said before, I think you can just like do something like this. Tumbling, you don't need the brackets and don't remove this. At least that's what my embassy said. The country for me is a master's program, and yeah, the checklist is pretty simple. So you just do yes or no. So this is the start of the application, and for mine it's embassy general because none of these apply to me. And for the desired field of study, I've heard you can take two options, like more than one, if it relates to both, if both of them relate to your major. Here we go, that's master's degree 2. This is pretty straightforward. For your details, date of birth, age, blah blah blah. For Korean citizenship, just say no, and then no for your parents too. Unless one or both of your parents are Korean, then say yes. But if they are, then you can't really apply to this scholarship, I think. So yeah, so put your details here, your university name, blah blah blah. Achieved. So I've finished my bachelor's. So I'm just gonna put my bachelor's major and my thesis title here. I think there are a couple of people who didn't do a thesis in their final year. So you could either just leave it blank, or if you've done something else like a project, then I think you could put the title in, but just let them know that it's not a thesis. I mean, I guess it's better to ask your embassy, but if they don't reply and you're worried about it, just leave it blank, I would say. Um, if you have any proficiency test scores here, I have IELTS, so I just put IELTS here and my score, which is 8.5. Published books, blah, 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 theses. I left this blank because this one is probably for if your thesis was published in a peer-reviewed journal or if it's online kind of thing. My thesis, I just wrote it and I just got my marks for it, so it's not really available for other people to see. So I'm just gonna leave this one blank. For the name of awards, I know this is really confusing, but I've read that you're supposed to briefly like put the names of what awards you have or like you're about to send. So for example, mine are my CV. So I'm just gonna write CV, Excel course because I completed a basic Excel course and I have a certificate for it. So that my other academic awards. So like for being a good student in maths or something like that. So I'm just gonna put the titles here. So just for the awards, I'm going to use a font 8 times New Roman probably because they don't fit, like the titles of my awards don't fit if it's 11. So just for the awards I'm going to use times 8. I don't know if that's okay or not because for the person statement and statement of purpose it says times New Roman 11, but for the application form you don't really see any instructions on what font you should be using. So I'm hoping just one is fine. So yeah, so I'm just gonna like try to fit them all here because I have a lot of awards. Well, I don't have a lot of awards, but like you get me, like they have a long name. Moving on to choice of university and major, blah blah blah. So I definitely chose KU, Korea Uni, Kyunghee Uni, and Busan National for Type B. The only problem I found really was that the division and department for my major at least was slightly different in the two files provided by GKS guidelines. So the Excel file called Available Universities and Field of Study and the PDF file called University Information, they have two different division and departments for the same major. Um, and I can't really find the information on the university's website. So I'm just going to follow the Excel file. And I'll put up a picture here of what my choices look like. And what division and departments they are. Here, yeah, actually here it says here, refer to section 3, available universities and field of study. So that's the Excel file, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so whatever division department is on the Excel file, I'm going to use that in this point, even though the PDF file is slightly different. And for the previous achieved degrees, yeah, I have already graduated, so my bachelor's degree will go here. If you haven't graduated bachelor's yet, or like expected to graduate this year, then just leave it blank because you haven't achieved it yet. GPA. Okay, so this one was really difficult for me because, for me at least, I did 4 years of university. My third year was my year abroad. So I went to Korea for a year. And my first year in university does not count towards my final grade. So even if I got like really good grades, it's not going to be weighted in the CGPA. So I asked my embassy because I didn't know how to calculate the grades. Um, Basically, my grades are 12.5% for the second year, 12.5% for the third year, and 75% for my fourth year. So that's how they calculate my final GPA. And here's the response from the embassy. So they just said first to combine the semester 1 and 2 columns because I only have the grades for my yearly evaluation. I just combined it, put 1 and 2 together, and then just calculated my GPA using that for all 4 years, like that. And then I just did the 12.5, 12.5, and 75% myself. So yeah, it can be confusing, and hopefully, like her email and my GPA table will kind of help you if you're struggling. Next is employment or professional research. So I don't have any professional research, but I have worked for a few different companies. So I'm just going to put my recent ones at the top and then going down in time. And for responsibilities, I'm only doing like short phrases. So for example, I'm just saying customer service or working at the till or like managing supplies or something like that. So like 2 or 3 sentences. I'm sending my CV as well, so I don't think I need to elaborate on the responsibilities here. So if you don't have enough space, I would suggest just send a copy of your CV. Next, we have previous visits to Korea. I've been there only once for my study year abroad, so I just put the month and date. Wait, month and year, sorry. So month and year to month and year. And purpose of stay was to study, and that was in Seoul. And nothing here because I don't know. Yeah. And nothing for the scholarship, so just left it blank. And yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh my god, personal statement. This was so long. But yeah, so definitely follow the guidelines. So it has to be 1 page and Times New Roman size 11. And I think 11 points is because they calculate your points for each section. And then whoever gets the highest point will probably be shortlisted for the interview. So make sure to follow the instruction. Like even if it doesn't fit, just cut out stuff and make it fit instead of like doing another page, for example. I think these have been changed a bit from last year's guideline. I used last year's guidelines and my old personal statement to write a draft and then found out that there's been a couple of changes here, so I've been changing that. And I think I'm kind of okay with my personal statement right now. I think I can fix it a little bit more, but yeah, we'll see. So, um, I don't really know what to say about this. Yeah, it's just the instructions. So just hopefully you have like a good flow to your personal statement. I personally have, I think, 4 paragraphs. So I have the introduction, so like how I got interested in my major. The second part, it was probably like my extracurricular plus the significant experiences. I just mixed these 2 points together. So that was my second paragraph. I think the third was more about the GKS program itself, but not just all of it. It was like I did a little bit of like my time in Korea and then said I'm thankful for the opportunity for GKS. And then I said why GKS was important to me. So something about like um, lifting my financial burdens and stuff like that. And my final was just like 2 sentences, I think, of just being like, yay, pick me, like I can do this, or something, but more professional. Um, so yeah, so one whole page, you can remove this part. So yeah, remove this part, remove this part, and just like put it in the box. Just write it in the box. So mine was exactly one page. Like I had to fix so much parts and then like, make sure it flows well and then people are actually understanding what I'm trying to convey. But I made it fit. I might change just a little bit because I still have a week before I send my documents. So I'm not sure. I'll see. Let's move on to Form 3, which is the statement of purpose. Same with this should be 2 pages, like no more than 2 pages. It can be under 2 if you want. Times New Roman, size 11. Please follow this because like I've seen in a lot of my Facebook group chats and stuff like that people are still questioning whether they can do more than 2 pages or they can make it a size 10 because it doesn't fit. And I would highly recommend just to follow because you don't want to be disqualified. So yeah, I think the language study plan was added this year because they weren't in last year's guidelines. This one was pretty straightforward, I would say. I think I had more like around half a page for this language plan. So I focused mine only in Korean because I already am exposed to English and I'm fluent. So I explained that in my first statement. So I just said I will be focusing on my Korean language improvement because that's where the focus is and that's what I'll be studying in Korea. And then I went on to say how I'm studying Korean now, and then how I am practicing to take my topic test in April, and how I am aiming for a level 3 in topic. And then about how when I go to the language program, 1 year language program, I want to get a level 5 at least. And then at university, after the year, I'm going to continue to a level 6 and above. So I'm just going to mention that I'm going to go beyond level 6 and then like study with friends and then learn more by myself later on or take classes. So goal of study and study plan. This was probably one page for me because there was so much to write, mainly because they want a detailed study plan. So I made this into 2 sections. So my first section is my goal of study. So I just said mainly I want to get a first at university for academics and what I'm going to study in my semester 1 and 2 because those are the only semesters I could find online at the university website. So I just put down some of the courses for 1 and 2 and then I just said 1 and 2 are going to help me in semester 3 and 4 with like my theses and stuff like that. But you get me. And then my next paragraph was exactly what courses I'm looking most forward to. Sorry about the noise, guys. Yeah, so the second paragraph, I just said what courses I'm looking most forward to. So for me, it was the individual film projects and the internship provided by all universities, like all three that I picked. So I just talked a little bit about that, and then also what I'm planning to do my thesis on. I also included my thesis, like the general abstract for my thesis that I'm planning to study. So I just put what the thesis will kind of be about. So mine would be like cross-country analysis between the UK and the Korea. And I think that was it for my goal of study and study plan. That was one page. This was half a page language study, and the future plan was also half a page. So together I have 2 pages. Um, yeah. So future plan after study. I think this one was kind of easy for me because I already kind of know what I want to do after university. So I also separated this into 2 sections. So one was my academic plans after graduation, which is to probably like do a PhD in a couple of years' time after I work. And my second section was about my work experience. So that's where I said that immediately after graduating, I want to work a few years and I want to learn more about the working culture in Korea and experience it myself, blah, 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 blah. So that was it for this one. And just like an ending sentence, just saying, yeah, I can do it. Again, professionally. Form 4, yeah, I don't need it. You probably don't need it too, unless you're a research student. So I'm just gonna delete this whole page. Same with 5, because I've already, well, my references have already been sent to the embassy. So I'm gonna delete this page too, delete this page too, form 6, and form 7. I just like, yeah, you just read it and just like tick it. Like for all of these, sign and date. Same for this part. And form 8, this one I just like made it 0.5 font smaller because this was really bothering me, the T, which is, it's sad. So I just made this just a 0.5 bit smaller. And yeah, so this is just, yeah, you just said yes or no, here's all your information. I think people, like some people online were worried about, where was it, here, visual or hearing impairment if you're wearing glasses. And a lot of people have said that no, like if you're just short-sighted, long-sighted, or just wearing glasses to correct your vision, this is a no, because a visual impairment would be something that can't be corrected. You don't need to mention it. Or like if you really want to, then you can just say just you wear prescription glasses, and I think that should be fine. Um, and yeah, I think that's it for the whole application. So yeah, I'm just gonna delete the pages I don't need, print this out, and then just assemble my application according to the checklist. I think I might do one last video before I send it off, of just assembling the whole documents, and that will probably be like next week sometime, maybe Saturday, next Saturday. So we'll see. Maybe next Saturday. Yeah, I'm just going to, I have already started assembling my documents that I already have. I'm literally just waiting on my bachelor's degree apostilled certificate from the solicitor. I don't think he sent it yet. As soon as I have that, and as soon as I make like minor changes to my personal statement and statement of purpose, like I just want to do a little bit more there. As soon as I got those two done, I'm going to print everything and then assemble and then post it hopefully by, like I said, like last time, by the 3rd of March. I am definitely going to post it by then. So stay tuned and I'll be back next time. Yeah. Thank you as always and good luck. Bye.